You had the whole day. You told yourself, today's the day I finally study, and then nothing. You scrolled, cleaned your desk, watched productivity videos instead of actually being productive. Now it's midnight. The exam is in 48 hours, and you're sitting there wondering, what is wrong with me? Nothing. Because it's not laziness. Your brain is stopping you from studying, and once you understand why, you can finally break the loop. There are 3 steps to break this loop, but step 3 is the one most students never use, and it's the reason nothing changes. Every teacher says, just start. Every productivity video says, just be disciplined. And you try. You really do. But your brain shuts down anyway. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Procrastination is not about the task. It's about the emotion attached to the task. Think about it. You don't procrastinate on gaming. You don't procrastinate on texting your friends. But the second you open a textbook, your brain freezes. This is because you procrastinate on the things where failure feels personal. Your brain doesn't see math exam. It sees, what if I fail? What if I try for hours and still disappoint everyone? What if I'm just not good enough? To your brain, that book is a threat. And when something feels like a threat, you avoid it. You reach for your phone. You open another tab. You suddenly need water or snacks, or somehow you end up researching best study techniques instead of actually studying. And the scary part? Your brain reacts to emotional threats almost the same way it reacts to physical danger, which creates something called the protection loop. You avoid the work for a few minutes and instantly feel relief. Okay, I'll do it later. But later comes, and now the guilt is worse. The task feels even bigger. So you avoid again. And every time you escape, your brain learns avoiding equals safety. That's the loop. And most people stay trapped there for years because they keep attacking the wrong problem. Here's something that should make you feel less alone. 88% of people procrastinate regularly. Not occasionally, regularly. And the students who look like they have it together, most of them are running the same loop. They've just learned to interrupt it faster. That's the whole game. Not beating procrastination forever. Just getting faster at breaking the loop. So how do you actually break the loop? Step 1. Name the threat. Most students never identify what they're actually afraid of. They just say, I don't feel like studying, and avoid it. Next time you sit down to work, stop and ask, what am I actually afraid of right now? Be specific. Are you afraid you won't understand it? Afraid there's too much to finish? Afraid you'll fail anyway? Your brain is terrified of unnamed threats like monsters in the dark. The second you turn the lights on and name it, it becomes a problem you can actually solve. Step 2 is the one that sounds too simple to work, which is exactly why 90% of students never use it correctly. Here's what I mean. Step 2. The 5-minute entry point. Your brain decides whether something feels safe or dangerous based on how big the task looks. If you tell yourself, I need to study for 5 hours, your brain immediately resists. That sounds painful, overwhelming, threatening. So instead, shrink the mission. Tell yourself, I'm only reading 1 paragraph. That's it, 1 paragraph. Because the goal is not to finish. The goal is to remove threat. And once you start, something weird happens. The fear drops. Your brain realizes, oh, this isn't actually dangerous. And continuing suddenly feels easier. The hardest part of a workout is putting on your shoes. This is just you putting on your shoes. And honestly, step 3 is the reason most people stay stuck. Step 3, the identity reset. Stop saying, I'm a procrastinator. Because your brain believes the identity you repeat, and it will keep proving it right. Instead, after even the smallest action, say this, I am someone who starts. That's it. 5 words. Not perfect, not disciplined, just someone who starts. Because identity drives behavior. Change the identity, and the behavior follows. The students who look disciplined aren't fearless. They just learned how to act before the loop begins. That's it. So after this video ends, don't try to fix everything. Don't try to study for hours. Just sit down, name the threat, read 1 paragraph, and prove to your brain that you are someone who starts. Hit subscribe and like if this hit different. I make systems that actually work, not motivation speeches. Comment loop if you're starting today.